I just came back from Portugal to Japan, and today I want to talk about everyday normal Portuguese things that really surprised me as a Japanese girl. If you're new here, thank you so much for finding this little corner of the internet. My name is Mako. I'm born and raised in Japan. I used to work a corporate job in Tokyo. I had a major burnout, quit, and now I'm documenting my life right here on this YouTube channel. Last year to earlier this year, I was living in Lisbon, Portugal, and I completely fell in love with Portugal. So I've been making Portugal related videos here and there as well. Okay, let's get into the video. The first everyday normal Portuguese thing that really surprised me is how you can get decent sushi at supermarkets. I think I've talked about this in this channel before, but I was browsing getting groceries at a supermarket, and sometimes I would be like, I kind of miss sushi. I want to eat sashimi. I want seafood, not cooked. So I decided to give supermarket sushi a try. I was so surprised by the quality of the fish and also the size of the fish that they put on top of rice. If you go to a supermarket in Japan, you're gonna see sushi with much smaller fish pieces on each sushi because everything is getting more and more expensive. Really toxic Japanese trait and mindset is that okay, we don't want to increase the retail price, so what can we do instead of increasing the retail price? Okay, let's make the piece smaller, or let's use cheaper ingredients to keep the same price. So yeah, in terms of the quality and the size of the fish, the supermarket sushi you can get in Portugal might even be better than the ones in Japan. I'll try to find the picture of the brand or the sushi brand that I really liked, and if you live in Portugal, maybe you can give it a try. One of the reasons why I decided to move to Lisbon and live there for a little bit is because of the bridge. I used to live in San Francisco where Golden Gate Bridge is, and when I visited Lisbon for the first time, it was a pleasant surprise to find a bridge that looks exactly the same. Although I don't live in San Francisco anymore, I feel like it always has a special place in my heart. For you guys, maybe it's really normal to have the bridge, but I find it really beautiful, and also I think I have strong memories that are tied to beautiful bridges. So I was born in Kobe, and Kobe also has a beautiful bridge, and my dad was actually part of the project, and as a kid I was so proud of that. So I would tell everybody in the classroom. As a kid I thought he was literally building the bridge, but as I got older I learned that he was in charge of the mathematics and then making sure that the structure is safe and everything. So that's not what I imagined. We can see the bridge every single day from this house that I was raised in, and maybe that's why I feel attracted by the bridge in Lisbon. Another everyday Portuguese thing that I want to talk about is the airport in Lisbon. And I think airport is so important because that's the first thing that tourists see. I think it gives you the impression of the entire country, and I think it's really important. One thing I was so surprised about the airport is how affordable everything is. Whereas if you travel to other countries, they usually overcharge for everything inside of the airport. So if you want to get souvenirs, it's overcharged. If you want to grab a coffee or if you want to get small sandwiches, it's so overpriced. Whereas at the airport in Lisbon, I feel like everything is fair priced. If I have something that I forgot to buy in the city, I can just pick it up at the airport and bring it to my friends, which is amazing. And also I realized from my experience, everything is so quick and smooth. Whereas if you land at like LAX in the US, for example, like good luck getting out in time. あー、確かに L やったらいけるかもな。And before moving forward with the video, I want to quickly thank my partner CyberGhost VPN for sponsoring this portion of the video. With over 38 million users worldwide and over 20,000 excellent reviews on Trustpilot, they offer one of the best VPNs out there, and let me tell you why CyberGhost is a great choice. VPN is essential for protecting your digital privacy. Plenty of eyes are watching you every time you go online, and even incognito mode doesn't prevent that. your internet service provider, your school or your work's IT department, or even your Wi-Fi router at home, they can all track what you do online. And that's where CyberGhost VPN comes in. Before you browse the internet, you can simply select one of their over 100 locations worldwide, and that way you can encrypt and reroute all of your traffic through their secure service. This way, nobody will ever know about your online activity. And that's not it. With CyberGhost VPN, you can also unlock geo-restricted games and contents from over 40 platforms like Netflix, Amazon Prime, and Disney Plus. And sometimes you can even score better deals by simply virtually changing your location. This means you can watch animes or Japanese shows that you've been wanting to watch using CyberGhost VPN. It works on all major devices and OS, including Windows, Mac, iOS, Android, and you can protect 7 devices at the same time, so it's perfect to share between your friends and families as well. With my link in my description below, you can get their best deal ever. It's just $2.03 a month, and you can get 4 months free, so you're pretty much getting 84% off. And this is why this is one of the most affordable options on the market. They also offer 45-day money-back guarantee. I think the market standard is 30 days. I think it's a great option for someone looking for a VPN on a budget, and you can sign up from the link in my description below, and sign up from my link also helps me create more videos like this. And now back to the video. Another everyday Portuguese thing that surprised me is how there are a variety of cuisines everywhere in the city, even though they still do have a strong food culture that people appreciate and people love. I think there are so many countries where they don't really have a strong food culture, so everything that they have is quite international and diverse. But in Portugal, it's not the case. Like, there are so many good Portuguese restaurants everywhere, and I can tell that people generally love Portuguese food like I do too. But there are still international, more ethnic food available in the city, and that's one thing that I really appreciate. And I think that's also quite similar to Japan. I think Japanese food culture is really strong, so we do have a lot of Japanese food restaurants, but we also have a lot of international food restaurants. Another everyday Portuguese thing that really surprised me is the amount of English speakers. When I first visited Portugal, I went to this small fishing village called Vila de Nova Mil Fontes. I believe, I hope I'm saying it right, but it was a really lovely fishing village. I went there to do like a week-long surf trip, and it was absolutely amazing. Everybody was so nice, and I was so surprised that everybody there spoke like perfect English. So if you're born and raised in Japan, you are pretty much required to study English for 12 years at school. But unfortunately, a lot of Japanese people cannot speak good English, and I don't think it's necessarily our fault. I think the education system is really focused on passing exams and passing tests, that they don't really teach how to use English in a practical way. And plus, I think Japan has large enough economy, at least for now, that you don't really have to go outside of Japan to get a job or to achieve your dream. So that could be another reason. But yeah, I was so surprised and stunned to see all these people who speak like almost perfect English in Portugal. And I feel like that also motivates me to learn Portuguese and understand their culture better. Another everyday Portuguese thing that really surprised me is how there are so many roundabouts, and in this roundabout it almost looks like there is no lane. If you've been to Japan and if you have seen how people drive in Japan, they have a lane, and it's really rare for me to see people going off the lane. Whereas I guess in Europe, it's more normal to kind of go off the lane and everything. But yeah, I was so surprised to see how lanes sometimes disappear. And I am a passenger's princess. I don't know how to drive, but looking at it kind of makes me glad that I don't know how to drive, because it seems like you need to be a really good driver to drive in a city like Lisbon. Maybe it's different in other parts of Portugal, But that's the impression that I have. Don't forget to check out CyberGhost VPN from the link in the description below. They're giving special discounts to my subscribers. Thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to give it a like and subscribe so that I can see you again in the next video. Bye!